Muslim Brotherhood leaders are calling for 1 million people to take to the streets in Egypt the day after 51 died in protests against the removal of President Morsi. The Brotherhood called it a massacre by the army, and they've rejected calls for new elections. They want people all over the country to join the demonstrations.
Well, the interim president, Adli Mansour, promised that all sections of society would be given a say in the elections and constitutional reforms. The Brotherhood said it simply took the country back to square one. Arise News' Will Took reports.
The aftermath of a deadly shooting that left dozens dead. Over 50 pro-Morsi supporters are now known to have died in clashes with the army outside the Republican Guard headquarters. Both sides blame each other for the violence that started in the early hours of Monday morning.
The
scene stopped being a peaceful demonstration this morning at 4 a.m. A group of armed men attacked the area surrounding the Republican Guards building and the armed forces and police personnel responsible for guarding the area, using live fire and bullets.
The military statement is completely false. What actually happened is that army forces assaulted the peaceful protesters from behind while they were praying.
Now, new footage that cannot be independently verified has emerged that supports both versions of events. This video, filmed from an army helicopter, shows protesters throwing missiles from a rooftop. On the ground, this footage appears to show security forces being shot at, and a masked man can be seen in amongst the protesters carrying a firearm. Meanwhile, the Muslim Brotherhood have released this footage on a social media site. Seconds after two men are carried out of the crowds, blooded and unconscious, a gunman with a military helmet is seen above them, appearing to take aim. It's not clear whether he fires the weapon. Whoever is to blame, Monday's events have galvanised both sides against each other. In a bid to quell tensions, Interim President Adli Mansour outlined a timetable to return to democratic rule. Constitutional amendments are to be drafted, and a committee formed of all classes and religions will be consulted before the changes are approved. Once the new constitution is agreed upon, parliamentary elections will be held, in turn paving the way for the election of a new president. Mansour is promising a quick transition of power to end the political instability. But it remains to be seen if rushing through reforms will have that effect. Will Took, Arise News.